Greetings. My name is Mbongiseni Speaks, and you are watching Mbongiseni Speaks. Without wasting any time, let's begin. Recently, we have seen an interesting diplomatic pattern developing across the international system. Western leaders, particulars from Europe and beyond, have been traveling to China. Presidents, prime minister, and economic delegation have all been making visits to Beijing. We are seeing this at a time when relationship between China and many Western countries are often described as tense. Public discussions frequently focus on trade restriction, technology rival, semiconductor exports control, and growing geopolitical competition. Yet, despite all this tension, Western leaders continue to travel to China. So the fundamental question becomes, why now? Is the economic necessity, a strategic recalibration, or are we witnessing something deeper? A gradual recognition that the global balance of power is changing. To understand this development, we must first examine the concept of economic gravity. In geopolitics, economic gravity often determines political behavior. The largest economies tend to function like a gravitational center in the international system, pulling trade flows, supply chains, and investment networks towards them. China today represents the second largest economy in the world, and in several industry sectors, it has become the largest manufacturing power on the earth. Over the past 4 decades, China has built enormous industrial capacity, vast factory networks, modern ports, and powerful logistics system connecting the production to global markets. These systems do not operate only for Chinese domestic consumption. They serve the entire global economy. Many European economies remain deeply integrated into Chinese supply chain, a relationship that developed during decades of globalization. International companies relocated large portion of their manufacturing networks to Chinese because of its infrastructure, scales, and efficiency. Today, numerous industries depend on Chinese production capacity. China dominates the process of rare earth minerals, essential for electronics, telecommunication equipment, and advanced defense technology. It also plays a central role in electric vehicle battery supply chain, particularly lithium-ion batteries. When we examine renewable energy technology such as solar panel and battery storage system, Chinese factories produce a significant portion of a global supply. This reality creates a structural interdependence. If a country attempts to suddenly isolate its largest trading partner, disruption eventually returns to the domestic economy through higher production costs, supply shortages, and industrial instability. Western policymakers understand this reality clearly. Economic networks built over decades cannot be dismantled quickly without serious consequences. However, economics alone does not explain these visits. In recent years, many European leaders have spoken about the need for greater strategic autonomy in foreign policy. Europe maintains a deep security partner with the United States, particularly through NATO. After the same time, European economy maintains large commercial relationship with China. Being forced to choose between this relationship will create a significant economic and strategic difficulties. Strategic autonomy, therefore, means preserving the ability to cooperate with multiple partners while maintaining independent decision-making capacity. In strategic language like this, approach is often described as hedging. Hedging allows the state to reduce geopolitical risk by maintaining multiple relationships rather than committing entirely to one bloc. Another major factor behind this visit is the gradual emergence of multipolar international system. For several decades after the Cold War, the global system appeared largely unipolar. However, economic growth across Asia, Africa, and Latin America has begun redistributing global influence. China has risen as a major economic power. India continues expanding globally. Regional organizations and emerging coalitions are becoming more influential. As power becomes more distributed, diplomacy becomes more complex. Major power must maintain dialogue not only with allies, but also with competitors. China maintains a strong economic partnership across Africa, Asia, and Latin America, region often described collectively as a global south. The global financial system is deeply interconnected. Trade, banking networks, capital flows, and current market operate with a shared global financial architecture. For decades, this architecture has been centered around the US dollar. However, recent discussion about the alternative payment system, development bank, and settlement mechanisms suggest the system may gradually evolve. Maintaining diplomatic dialogue between the major economies help manage systematic financial risk. Financial markets are extremely sensitive to uncertainty. When the world's largest economies stop communicating, instability increases. Technology and climate policy also require cooperations. Western governments have established ambitious climate targets that depends heavily on renewable technology, such as solar panel, battery storage system, and electric mobility infrastructure. Much of this manufacture capacity currently exists in China. Without Chinese industrial production, the global energy transition will become slowly and more expensive. At the same time, Western economies remain leaders in scientific research and technology innovation. This creates a deeply interconnected technology ecosystem. For countries like South Africa, the shift creates both challenges and opportunities. South Africa maintains strong economic relationship with China while also maintaining partnership with the Western economy. As a member of BRICS, South Africa participates in expanding economic cooperation among emerging economies. In a multipolar world, countries in the global south gain greater flexibility by building relationships across multiple centers of power. Ultimately, Western leaders are not visiting China out of weaknesses. They are responding to structural transformation within the global system. Economic gravity continues shaping supply chain. Financial architecture requires coordination. Technology systems are interconnected. And global power is becoming more distributed. This is not a surrender. It is an adaptation. Adaptation to a world that is becoming more complex, more interconnected, and increasingly multipolar. Thank you for joining me today on Mbongiseni Speaks. If you find this analysis valuable, subscribe to the channel for a deeper discussion on global strategic, geopolitics, and the evolving international order. Until next time, stay informed and stay strategic.